Hello. For those who don't know me, my name is Sheila Wirick, and I lead the health team here at Experian Marketing Services. Joining me today is Natalie. So, Natalie, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Perfect. Natalie Mancuso. I am the SVP of Data and Platform Partnerships here at DeepIntent, and thrilled to be joining you today, Sheila.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. So nice to see you again. So we're going to start with a few icebreaker questions. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay. All right. So Natalie, you recently shared that you've been to a lot of baseball games. So to say the least, right? So if you were to estimate, how many games do you think you've been to?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. Now I'm going to date myself, Sheila. So how about if I say I can give you a sense of the number of games I've been to, at least this season, at my favorite team's home stadium, that's Yankee Stadium. So I have been to over 12 games so far at Yankee Stadium at the start of our season. And I'm very excited to see where we go this year. If I estimate my total career, that's the tough one. It is a love across my family. And so we've spent a lot of time both attending at Yankee Stadium, but also going across country to see our team play in many different venues. So I will say we've had a good reach across the United States for some American League and National League baseball.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for you. I'm sure a lot of great memories have been made during all those games.
So many, and it's so much fun to go now and watch others. This is kind of a me and my dad thing. So as I go and I see young girls or young kids with their dads doing the same thing, it certainly brings back a lot of really great memories over the years.
So now we're going to move into some of our core questions, and today we're focusing on pharma marketing. Are you ready to get started?
I would love to.
Okay. All right. So first question. Pharma advertising has clearly moved beyond broad reach alone, which we know. So in your opinion, Natalie, what's the biggest mindset shift brands need to make today if they really want to reach patients and providers more effectively?
There's two words that really come to mind for me, and that's that ability to balance precision and scale. And so, media over the years has really evolved. Omnichannel strategies have evolved, and there were a lot of blunt force tactics, limits in terms of data, connectivity. And today, I think, given the ability to connect data, these open ecosystems, the ability to really break down silos and connect journeys and messages has really created an opportunity for us to shift the way in which we operate. So this notion of being able to dynamically target and optimize across patient journeys with the breadth and depth of data that we have, with the ability to integrate systems, is something that's very different. So, gone is the old strategy of I'm going to build an audience, I activate that audience and kind of sit it out and let it ride. We have so much data signal, we have so much information that we process quickly that we can be much more dynamic and optimize dynamically through journeys in ways we never could before. So I think brands have to shift, we have to shift, and be willing to try things differently, be more dynamic in what we do. And that will really allow us to move folks through a journey quicker and ultimately have a positive impact on patient outcomes.
So why is it more important than ever to integrate messaging to both HCPs and consumers? And how can brands ensure this is done effectively?
I think one of the things that's really critical is for us to understand that this is a conversation. And this is something we talked about going way back to my brand years, 20 years ago when I first started in pharma. This is a conversation that happens in a room where none of us can be present. Brands, media, right? This is a patient, sometimes their family, and a physician that are making treatment decisions. It's a dialogue. We've got patients who are more informed, more involved in their treatment decisions than ever. You've got caregivers, families, right? Research, just the accessibility of data and information and the ways in which we can consume it with just AI alone. Just this level of information and discovery that can be made is so vast that if we're not arming people with that right information in real time, then we're missing the boat. And so by arming both HCPs and patients with that right information, that can make all the difference again in getting to a patient result. And so the way in which I oftentimes think about it is quite simple, right? Patient request is a very powerful tool. We see that. That's why advertising can be effective. And physicians are also very responsive to patient conversation, providing, right, it's not contraindicated as a therapy, providing there aren't certain barriers to usage. So I think you have a very willing prescriber conversation and an active patient. That's a very powerful tool. And I think that's something that we can participate in. And that's, I think, what makes me feel good about what I do in the day-to-day of my job. If I can bring information to physicians, to patients that ultimately can have a positive impact, then we're doing something meaningful and we're driving conversation. So I think one, it's patients are more informed than ever and more involved in these treatment decisions. So ensuring that both the patient and the HCP have the right information in a timely way is critical for conversation. I think the second part of this is looking at the identity strategy and knowing that it should be differentiated, right? How we're able to reach HCPs in that moment in a professional setting as distinct from, consumers. It's very important, but it has to be harmonized. So we want to reach the patient and the HCP with coordinated and complementary messaging. And that's ultimately what's going to move the needle. And so what we do here at DeepIntent is a combination of tactics that look across sequential messaging, integrated messaging, that allows us to speak to both HCPs and patients and guide them through a story flow, right? Or through a narrative in a single orchestrated way across all of the various channels in the DeepIntent platform. So this allows you to move from living room to point of care, with each step being very triggered by real engagement and not just a timer, right? You just don't set it in hope. You're actually leveraging engagement points to move somebody through that logic dynamically. The ability for us to serve, I think, the sequential messaging, to be able to do these integrated campaigns, solves a couple of problems at one time. So there's that conversation of CTV to digital handoff without pixels, right? The deduplication and elimination of frequency waste caps alone, it's not something that's fixed, right? So we don't want to have frequency waste, and we can't rely on a cap alone to fix that.
I really love that perspective, Natalie, and I like the framework and how you think about it being a private conversation that none of us are active in, right? So that's so valuable, and the fact that you're putting value on that is very much appreciated, and I totally agree and understand. So with tighter privacy expectations and pixel loss and compliance scrutiny, what does a privacy-safe activation workflow actually look like for a pharma advertiser?
I come from a background focused in healthcare, and so privacy, compliance, right? These have always been a part of the narrative. I think some industries more than others have faced this, the financial world as well. So this is really something that I think is inherent to who we are when we transact in this healthcare ecosystem. Some of the things that have always been really important to me are, do I have the right partners that have awareness within this, right, this privacy space? Do they understand the rules and regulations so that I can go about the day-to-day business as a brand marketer of really trying to bring that right information right to the right stakeholders. So the transaction is one that I think requires a vertical expertise, and having partners that really understand that, allow you to feel confident and be able to really do more with with the dollars that you have in order to reach the customers, provide that valuable information. When we think about a privacy safe activation, I love the 1, 2, 3s, right? How do I keep it simple here? The things I always think about are, is the data permissioned, right? Not observed behavior. So when it comes to the DeepIntent platform, every signal we're using has a documented legal basis. We know that our sources are consented for these types of use, right? We're trying to support our end customers, our brands, in being able to bring this data forward. We're not inferring health conditions from browsing. We're building audiences from consented, licensed clinical data. So we're very cautious about the types of data that come onto our platform and how we use these data in a HIPAA compliant way. I think the next piece of it is really focusing on those privacy sparing technologies and ensuring that our platform, our data is all appropriately managed through things like tokenization, how our data is controlled within our platform, to ensure that PII never moves, right? Audience construction is happening through tokenized workflows. The token travels and our identity is really staying protected. So the third piece of this is really around the privacy standards or those regulations. DeepIntent participates in a workflow for third-party expert determination, and this is what really gives us the proof layer. So before we ever serve an impression, we are working with independent third-party statisticians who have expertise in health and privacy to review our data infrastructure, our data joins and schemas. We're ensuring that our processes and our workflows undergo that rigor and scrutiny to create an environment where we can say with confidence that the DeepIntent platform is built with HIPAA compliance and privacy first considerations, right? So really having that expertise within the healthcare ecosystem. And I think, Sheila, now more than ever, again, for the number of years I've done this, has always been a part of our conversations, right? You don't work in the healthcare space without talking about privacy and compliance. But I think the speed at which this dialogue is happening has really accelerated over the years, especially as state, federal, right, data regulations around privacy come into play, coupled with healthcare. So really important to ensure that, I think, again, we understand the data provenance and the data that we're working with, ensuring that we're taking advantage of those privacy sparing technologies that really help us to transact appropriately, and then relying on that third party expertise. Again, there's various methodologies, DeepIntent really participating in this third party expert determination workflow, and ensuring that the collective of the partners that you're working with are all really participating with this privacy safe activation in mind.
Yeah, that's great. It makes total sense. Experian obviously is impacted by a lot of the same privacy regulations and reviews as you are. So we're very familiar, and we both have had a lot of conversations on this topic, haven't we?
Absolutely. I was going to say, Sheila, this has been a dialogue you and I have had for the entirety of our career, and one that it's an important one, and it's not something to shy away from. I feel like it's been the excuse, right? I worked in this industry for many years. You've worked with data for many years, and it can be an excuse, a reason why not to do something, but I think it also can be a very empowering part of that conversation when you work with people that have that expertise. And, I've always enjoyed working with Experian and working with your legal and privacy team, because it is an educated conversation. And when you have that kind of a relationship, you can continue to innovate.
So now let's talk about a channel that's getting a lot of attention in pharma right now, CTV. So Natalie, can you talk about how you connect a TV awareness moment in healthcare to real patient action? And how do you stay relevant after that first TV impression without overwhelming the patient?
When you think about your own experience, right? We, in my household, we have various touch points with the healthcare ecosystem, whether that's as a patient, as a participant in helping brands reach them. But one thing's for certain, we're all inundated with different types of advertising, different types of just delivery mediums, and CTV really becoming an ongoing topic of conversation, to your point, of recent. And DeepIntent is certainly putting its efforts behind CTV with some of the new media supply partnerships, right? But also with our identity. And I think that's very key to the conversation. So for us, it really starts with identity and not panels. So when we're resolving CTV and digital exposures to the same person, we're leveraging NPIs and HEMS and IP and device and household signals, so that every touch point across streaming, endemic, and mobile is recognized as the same individual, not these modeled lookalikes. Additionally, we extend our CTV impressions at the household level, so an awareness spot can suppress or sequence into that patient's next mobile session. So we're really trying to make sure that we're delivering a relevant experience and not just inundating through one channel. Additionally, for us, the script is the KPI, not the click. At DeepIntent, we're measuring patient activation across the full journey. We do this by using NPI level claims, RX, and medical data to really connect the dots between an impression that's served and an action within that patient journey. And by having that backbone or that spine connected to those health engagements, we're able to assess movement, right? Are we changing a behavior that's moving a patient through that journey quicker, right? Whether that's getting to the right specialist, whether it's getting to a diagnosis earlier, or even getting exposure to a new therapy, we're able to ensure that we can map these things back in ways that's meaningful and drives action for both the HCP and the patient. Additionally, we extend our CTV impressions at the household level. So an awareness spot can suppress or sequence in, again, as I mentioned, that next action or session. So for us, it's really about a layer. It's CTV into the endemics, into the digital and mobile extensions.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that you called out and went into so much detail on CTV, Natalie, because CTV is an area where Experian is especially strong, as you know. We invested in building our CTV partnerships early, before the channel received the level of attention that it has today and before the growth really started. So we are well positioned to deliver now that the growth has started in the pharmaceutical space. So happy to be able to be part of that. So real quick, so how should audience and message strategy evolve from pre-launch to launch to post-launch optimization? And what does good look like at each stage?
I know you're laughing as you ask the question, and I'm laughing because I feel like I'm delivering a punchline. Again, I think all of this really is about the journey. And when you think about pre-launch activity, post-launch optimization, I think, again, this all comes back to, like, what is the patient flow? What is that patient journey? And what are the critical inflection points in that journey? So when you have a view of what this looks like clinically at the category level, at the brand level, you really understand what is currently happening. So as you're launching into a market, what does that look like? When you look across that clinical journey and you understand where there are leakage points, where you see delays in treatment, whether that's the patient not recognizing symptoms, whether that's, kind of getting jammed up in the doctor visitations, whatever that may be, when you have a sense of what that looks like, and you really recognize when those decision points are happening, you can very much focus your efforts on getting to those correct moments in a journey. So if I'm launching into a market and I have a new class of drug, right, what does that look like? What has to happen? What education needs to be put into that marketplace, both from an HCP and a consumer standpoint, to build awareness of this? And I oftentimes think about the success that the oral anticoagulants saw. I came from that market. I worked in the injectable space for years, and I thought they did a phenomenal job of educating on atrial fib and that there are new oral therapies available without ever having to talk about the brand. And then once the brand became available, hey, let's talk then about the particular brand therapies. So I think it again comes back to the messaging and the ability to serve relevant messages to relevant audiences, whether it's the doctor, the patient, the caregiver, at those key inflection points, allows you to move somebody through a journey successfully. And as the journey evolves, so does the messaging, right? So don't hammer somebody with the coming soon message when you're 6 to 8 months into market and maybe somebody's already on brand. You want to be able to serve a message that's based on adherence, right? Or whatever that relevant next step is in the journey.
And guess what? We're at the end of our questions for today, Natalie. But
Sheila, it's been a pleasure as always. Really enjoy the partnership. Thank you so much for including both me and DeepIntent in this expert series. And again, really happy to be partnering with you to help to bring value to our customers and to their patients that they're serving.
yes, thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
You too, Sheila. Thank you.